Welcome to
our channel.
How long did you look?
Almost an hour. Yes,
At that point, I would have eaten somewhere else.
we almost did, but we'd become emotionally committed to finding it.
That's dangerous.
We kept saying, it has to be around here. Then we'd walk another street, look around, and realize it wasn't there.
Did you eventually find it?
Yes, but the funny thing is that it was right next to the first place we had checked.
No,
Yes,
that's painful.
we had been looking for the wrong kind of sign. The restaurant had a tiny entrance, and we expected something much more obvious.
That's happened to me with cafés. You expect a huge sign, but sometimes the place is just a little door with a small name above it.
Exactly, you can walk past something 3 times because you're looking for what you expect instead of what's actually there.
That's true in more than travel, though.
You always manage to turn a conversation into a life lesson.
I can't help it.
I knew you'd say that.
But it's true, sometimes you get so attached to the idea of how something should look that you don't recognize it when it's right in front of you.
Fine, I'll allow that once.
Thank you.
But let's stay with travel.
Fair.
One thing I love about getting lost is that you see parts of a city you probably wouldn't see otherwise.
That's the romantic version again.
No, listen, sometimes it's genuinely true. If you follow a map exactly, you usually go from one destination to another. You don't necessarily notice the streets between them.
That's true.
But when you're lost, you slow down. You start looking around. You notice small stores, residential streets, local cafes, parks, schools, people going about their normal lives.
You see the city as a place where people actually live, not just as a collection of tourist attractions.
Exactly.
That's probably my favorite part of traveling.
The tourist attractions.
No, seeing normal life.
Same.
I like sitting somewhere and watching people go to work, buy groceries, meet friends, take their children to school. It makes a place feel real.
And it also makes you realize that you're only visiting a small part of someone else's everyday life.
That's a good way to put it.
You might spend 3 days in a city, take 100 photos, visit famous places, and then leave. But for the people who live there, that city is simply home.
Their bus is late.
Their supermarket is expensive.
Their neighbor is noisy.
Their favorite cafe knows their order.
Their favorite street is probably one you've never heard of.
That's what makes travel interesting.
You get to step into someone else's ordinary world for a little while.
And sometimes getting lost helps you do that.
As long as you don't get too lost.
Right.
There's a difference between I'm exploring and I genuinely need help.
Absolutely.
I've learned to recognize the difference.
Oh,
When I stop pretending I know where I am.
that's a useful skill.
It saves time.
I've also learned that asking for directions is much easier when you stop worrying about sounding stupid.
Yes,
When you're learning a language, you can become very focused on whether your sentence is grammatically correct. But if you're standing in front of someone who can help you, the important thing is getting the information.
you don't need an impressive sentence.
You need a useful one.
Something like, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the station?"
Or is this the right way to the museum?
Or, "I'm looking for this address."
And if they speak too quickly, you can simply say, "Sorry, could you say that again more slowly?"
That's such an important sentence.
It really is.
A lot of learners are afraid to ask people to repeat themselves.
But it's completely normal.
Native speakers ask each other to repeat things all the time.
Especially when there's traffic, noise, or a bad connection.
Exactly, understanding every word the first time isn't a realistic goal.
Understanding the message is the goal.
And sometimes you need to ask for clarification.
which is a communication skill in itself.
That's something I wish more people practiced.
Might too.
People often practice speaking by preparing sentences in advance.
But real conversations don't follow a script.
Someone says something unexpected.
You don't understand one word.
They change the subject.
You need to explain something differently.
Someone interrupts you.
Or you suddenly forget a word you definitely know.
That happens all the time.
Especially when you're nervous.
That's why traveling can be good language practice.
Because you have a real reason to communicate.
You need the information.
You need to solve the problem.
And the conversation has a purpose.
It isn't just an exercise.
You're not trying to impress anyone.
You're trying to get somewhere.
Or buy something.
Or understand something.
Or find your hotel.
Or figure out which bus to take.
And sometimes you get it wrong.
Which is part of the experience.
I once got on a bus because I thought the driver had confirmed it was going to the city center.
Was it?
No,
Oh no.
I realized after about 20 minutes.
What did you do?
I got off at the next stop.
Where were you?
I had no idea.
You really do have stories.
I had to ask an older woman at the bus stop for help. She didn't speak English and I didn't speak her language. We spent about 5 minutes trying to understand each other.
How did you manage?
Maps, gestures, place names, and patience.
That's quite a combination.
Eventually, she understood where I wanted to go. She pointed me toward another bus stop and even walked with me for a few minutes.
She walked with you.
Yeah,
That's incredibly kind.
it was. She didn't need to do that. She could have pointed in a direction and left, but she wanted to make sure I found the right place.
Those are the travel experiences you remember.
Exactly.
Not necessarily the expensive hotel or the perfect restaurant.
But the stranger who helped you when you were confused.
The person who gave you directions.
The waiter who recommended a dish.
The shop owner who explained something.
The taxi driver who told you about the neighborhood.
Those people become part of the story.
Even if you never see them again.
That's one of the beautiful things about travel.
Temporary connections.
Exactly.
You can have a 10-minute conversation with someone and remember it for years.
Because you're sharing an experience that neither of you expected.
And then you continue in completely different directions.
There's something almost poetic about that.
You sound like you're writing a novel.
Maybe I am.
Please don't make me a character.
Too late.
What kind of character?
The guy who gets on the wrong bus.
I knew it.
It's a strong character arc.
I prefer the adventurous traveler.
The adventurous traveler who doesn't read signs.
Details.
Very important details.
Speaking of signs, that's another thing that can be difficult in a new place.
What?
You think you understand a sign because you recognize a few words, but you don't understand the context.
That's true.
Or you see a familiar word and assume it means the same thing you think it means.
That's dangerous.
I've made that mistake.
What happened?
I walked into what I thought was a cafe and realized it was actually something completely different.
How long did it take you to realize?
About 30 seconds.
That's not too bad.
It felt like a long 30 seconds.
Did anyone say anything?
No, they just looked at me.
That's enough.
I quietly walked out.
I would have done the same.
Travel teaches you humility.
Definitely.
You become a beginner again.
That's actually one of my favorite parts.
Why?
Because in your normal life, you're usually competent at basic things. You know how transportation works. You know where the supermarket is. You know how to order food. You understand the signs. You know which side of the road people drive on.
And then you arrive somewhere new, and suddenly buying a train ticket becomes an intellectual challenge.
Exactly.
You stand there looking at the machine like it's a spaceship.
And someone behind you is waiting.
That's when the pressure starts.
Yes,
I hate that feeling,
might too.
but maybe it's good for us,
Why?
because it reminds us what it's like to be a beginner.
That's important for language learners.
Very.
If you've been studying English for years, you can forget how uncomfortable learning something new feels.
Then you meet someone who is struggling to express themselves, and you suddenly remember.
You remember that knowing a language isn't the same as being comfortable using it.
Exactly.
And making mistakes isn't a sign that you're bad at it.
It's a sign that you're actually using it,
That's something people need to hear more often.
especially adults.
Children make mistakes without thinking about it.
They say something wrong, someone corrects them, and they move on.
Adults think about the mistake for 3 days.
Sometimes 3 years.
I can't believe I said that.
Meanwhile, the other person forgot it 5 minutes later.
Probably.
That's why I think travel can change the way you think about mistakes.
Because you don't have time to be embarrassed.
Exactly. If you say something wrong but the other person understands you, you keep going.
You have somewhere to go.
You have a train to catch,
A hotel to find.
a restaurant reservation.
You don't have time to sit there analyzing your grammar.
And that's actually useful.
It is.
You start speaking more naturally because your focus shifts from correctness to communication.
That's a big difference.
And sometimes your best conversations happen when neither person is trying too hard.
Especially with strangers.
Exactly.
I remember talking to a woman on a train once. We had both taken the wrong train.
That's a good way to start a friendship.
We realized it at almost the same time. We looked at each other, checked the signs, and both started laughing.
So you were lost together.
Yes, and because we were both confused, we immediately had something to talk about.
That's funny.
We ended up talking for almost an hour.
About the train.
At first, then travel, work, family, food, books, all kinds of things.
That's the thing about conversations. Sometimes you just need a starting point.
Exactly.
And being lost gave you one.
It did.
That's another reason I like unexpected situations.
They create conversations you wouldn't have planned.
If everything goes perfectly, you might never talk to anyone.
You follow the map, arrive at the hotel, check in, go to the restaurant, return to the hotel.
Very efficient.
But maybe less interesting.
Sometimes getting slightly lost is worth it.
Slightly.
We should emphasize that.
Yes, slightly lost.
Not completely lost.
Especially at night.
Definitely not.
Or when your phone is dying.
Very important.
Or when you don't know anyone's.
Or when you're carrying 3 bags.
That makes everything worse.
Especially if you're going uphill.
Why are unfamiliar cities always full of hills?
They seem to be.
And stairs.
And stairs.
And streets that suddenly become stairs.
That's the worst.
You're walking along normally, and then the road just decides you're climbing a mountain.
You start questioning your travel choices.
Why did I come here?
Why didn't I stay home?
Then you reach the top.
And the view is beautiful.
And suddenly you're glad you came.
That's travel.
Exactly.
The difficult part becomes part of the story.
That's probably why we remember problems more positively later.
That's true.
At the time, you're frustrated.
Later you're laughing.
You say, remember when we missed the train.
Or remember when we walked for an hour in the wrong direction.
Or remember when we couldn't find the hotel.
Those become the stories everyone wants to hear.
Nobody wants to hear, we followed the map and everything happened exactly as planned.
That's not a story.
That's a schedule.
Exactly.
I think that's why I don't mind small travel mistakes anymore.
You've matured.
Don't get carried away.
Sorry.
But I really have become more relaxed about them. If I miss a bus, I'll take another one. If I get lost, I'll ask someone. If a restaurant is full, I'll find somewhere else.
That's a much healthier attitude.
You can't control everything when you're traveling.
And you shouldn't try to.
That's probably the hardest part.
We like control.
Very much.
Especially when we're in unfamiliar places.
We want to know where we're going, what time we'll arrive, what we'll eat, and what happens next.
But travel doesn't work like that.
Weather changes.
Trains are delayed.
Restaurants close.
Roads are blocked.
You take the wrong turn.
Someone recommends a completely different place.
And sometimes the unexpected thing is better.
That's the part you can't plan.
And maybe that's what makes travel memorable.
I agree.
You can plan the important things.
Hotel.
Flights.
Basic transportation.
Reservations.
And then leave some space.
Space for accidents.
Good accidents.
Unexpected discoveries.
Random conversations.
Long walks.
Wrong turns.
And maybe a little confusion.
A little.
Not too much.
Never too much.
One thing I've become better at is asking locals for recommendations.
That's a great idea.
Tourist websites can tell you the famous places, but locals know the places they actually enjoy.
That's true.
I've had some of my best meals because someone who lived there said, "Don't go there, go 2 streets over."
That's valuable information.
Very.
And sometimes the recommendation is incredibly specific.
Like,
A friend once told me, go to this little restaurant but don't order the thing everyone orders, get the soup.
did you get the soup?
Of course.
Was it good?
Fantastic.
That's why local advice matters.
People know what they like.
And they're usually not trying to sell you anything.
Exactly.
Although sometimes you ask someone where to eat, and they recommend their cousin's restaurant.
That's a different situation.
You have to be careful.
Still worth trying sometimes.
Maybe.
Travel requires judgment.
And flexibility.
And patience.
And sometimes snacks.
Always snacks.
Especially when you're lost.
A hungry traveler makes bad decisions.
Very bad decisions.
You start thinking, I'll eat anywhere.
Then you walk into the first restaurant you see.
And regret it.
Exactly.
Food is definitely part of finding your way around a new place.
I love discovering small food markets.
Me too.
You don't necessarily know what everything is, but that's part of the fun.
You point at something and hope for the best.
Sometimes that's how you discover something amazing.
And sometimes you discover something you never want to eat again.
That's also useful information.
Very.
I've learned that when you're in a new place, it's good to be curious instead of judgmental.
That's a good rule.
You see something you don't recognize, and instead of thinking, "That's strange," you think, "I wonder why they do it that way."
That small change in attitude can make travel much more interesting.
It can also make you more patient with people.
Because you realize your way isn't the only way.
Exactly.
Even simple things can be different.
Meal times.
Public transportation.
How people greet each other.
How loudly people talk.
How shops work.
How people queue.
What people eat for breakfast.
All these little differences make a place feel different.
And if you're open to them, they become interesting instead of annoying.
That's the key.
I still get annoyed sometimes.
Of course.
I'm human.
So am I.
But I try to ask myself whether something is actually a problem or just different from what I'm used to.
That's a useful question.
Sometimes it's just different.
And different isn't wrong.
Exactly.
You can bring that attitude back home too.
Definitely.
Travel can change how you see your own city.
How?
After spending time somewhere else, you come home and notice things you usually ignore.
That's true.
You suddenly appreciate a familiar cafe.
Or the convenience of your normal transportation.
Or being able to read every sign.
That's a big one.
You realize how exhausting it can be to constantly translate things in your head.
Yes.
Then you come home and everything feels easy again.
Even going to the supermarket.
Especially the supermarket.
You know exactly where everything is.
You don't have to think.
You can understand the labels.
You know how the checkout works.
You know which products you like.
It's almost comforting.
That's one of the interesting things about travel. You appreciate home differently after you've been away.
And sometimes you appreciate being lost too.
Because eventually you find your way.
That's probably the best part.
The moment you recognize where you are.
Or when you see a familiar street.
Or your hotel.
Or the train station.
Or even just a sign you understand.
There's a strange sense of relief.
And satisfaction.
You think, okay, I've got this.
Even if you were completely confused 20 minutes earlier.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why getting lost isn't always a bad thing.
It gives you the chance to find your way.
And sometimes to find something you weren't looking for.
A new street.
A restaurant.
A conversation.
A memory.
Or maybe just a different version of yourself.
Now you're definitely writing the novel.
I couldn't resist.
It's okay.
But I do mean it.
I know.
When you're traveling, you have to make decisions without knowing exactly what will happen.
And that can make you more confident.
You realize you can handle uncertainty.
You can solve problems.
You can ask for help.
You can change your plans.
You can make mistakes and recover.
That's a useful kind of confidence.
Not the confidence of knowing everything.
The confidence of knowing you can figure things out.
Exactly.
I like that distinction.
Me too.
Maybe that's what I actually enjoy most about getting lost.
Not the getting lost part.
No,
I was going to say,
I enjoy the moment when you realize you can handle it.
that's a good feeling.
You don't know where you are, but you know what to do next.
Ask someone.
Check a sign.
Look at the map.
Take another bus.
Walk back.
Try again.
And if all else fails,
Find coffee.
Finally, a solution we can both support.
Always.
You know, after talking about all this, I suddenly want to travel.
Where?
Somewhere I've never been.
That's very specific.
I haven't decided yet.
So basically, you're already lost.
That's one way to put it.
Maybe that's a good place to start.
A little uncertainty.
A little curiosity.
A flexible plan.
Comfortable shoes.
A phone with enough battery.
Snacks.
Definitely snacks.
And the willingness to ask for help.
That's probably the most important one.
Because you don't have to know everything.
You just have to be willing to keep going.
Even when you take the wrong turn.
Especially then.
You know what? I think that's a pretty good way to travel.
And maybe a pretty good way to live.
There it is again.
I had to.
Fine, I'll give you that one too.
Thank you.
So next time we travel somewhere new, let's make a deal.
What's the deal?
We can use the map.
Good.
But we don't have to follow it every second.
Agreed.
If we see an interesting street, we can take it.
If someone recommends a place, we can try it.
If we get confused, we ask.
If we make a mistake, we laugh.
And if we get completely lost.
We find coffee.
Perfect.
Then we figure out where we are.
Eventually.
Eventually.
And maybe years later, we'll remember the wrong turn more clearly than anything else from the trip.
I bet we will.
Because perfect plans get forgotten.
Unexpected moments don't.
That's true.
Maybe that's why the best travel stories usually begin with, "We weren't supposed to be there."
Or we took the wrong train.
Or we couldn't find the hotel.
Or we asked a complete stranger for help.
And somehow those stories always end with, "But it turned out fine."
Sometimes even better than fine.
Sometimes much better.
And that's the part worth remembering.
Not that you got lost.
But that you found something along the way.
A place.
A person.
A conversation.
A memories.
Or just a new confidence that you can handle the unexpected.
I like that.
Me too.
All right, now I really do need to go.
Where are you going?
Home.
Do you know how to get there?
Of course.
Are you sure?
Mostly.
That's not very convincing.
I'll be fine.
You have your map.
Yes.
Enough battery.
40%.
Snacks.
1 granola bars.
You're prepared.
I've learned from experience.
Good.
And if I get lost,
You know what to do.
find coffee.
Exactly.
See you next time, Jack.
See you next time, Emma. And next time we travel somewhere new, let's remember that we don't have to know exactly where we're going every minute. Sometimes the wrong turn is just another way of discovering where we were supposed to end up.
That's a good thought to finish with, and maybe that's what makes traveling and learning a language so interesting. You make mistakes, you ask questions, you try again, and little by little you find your way.
And eventually you realize you weren't really lost. You were just somewhere you hadn't learned how to understand yet.
I like that.
Me too.
Now go find your next adventure.
I'll try.
And take a map.
No promises.
I knew you'd say that.